Hi everybody, happy Saturday. We are Roots in Wales and welcome to our channel because we are in the process of converting our first ever Sprinter van. So if you've been following along, last week we cladded the van and it was a really great week because we made huge progress and we saw now what the van finally looks like. This week, today, is a very important day because we are putting our floor in. Yes, our floor is going in. You will no longer see that plywood. It has served us very well, but it is time for something a little bit nicer. So let's go put the floor in.
Next job is to give the floor and edges a really good hoover, and I can put the side paneling back on ready to fit the floor.
Alright guys, this is what the van looks like without the floor. It's just our plywood floor.
Really?
Is it going to reach all the way there?
Yeah.
Luna, come here!
Are there any stones on this?
Here you go. And there's our floor, all nicely rolled up. What we're going to do is we're going to unroll the floor. We're going to cut it approximately to what we think is the size of the van floor. We're going to sweep the inside of the van one more time just to make sure that no like little rocks or any stuff gets stuck under the floor. And then we're going to try and put it in. Shaun's dad is helping us because it's a hard task and we wanted to vlog everything. So I'm in charge of vlogging and Shaun and his dad are putting the floor in. Okay, hopefully it goes well. Luna's helping. It looks so beige on the camera.
Did you mark off there where you measured it to now?
No.
It's really nice. I'm happy with our choice. It's very What do you think of the floor?
It's good. What? What do you mean?
The colour.
Really?
Colour?
Think of all the black accessories we're gonna have
Yeah.
and everything.
I mean, it's too late now anyway.
All the animals are here helping with the floor today. As we were putting the floor in, we forgot that we didn't put this last piece of plywood on the wall. So now the floor is just hanging out and Shaun's just putting this last piece in and then we can keep going. What do you think about the floor color?
Yeah, I'm not convinced then.
I think the floor color will look better when like we have everything in, like the appliances and the colors, the bigger picture. When we picked this floor out, first of all, it was forever ago. We got a really nice gray. And I felt like gray would be a good idea because a lot of our fixtures are black. I liked the idea of going more like gray, modern look than like a sauna. But I have to say, with the way that our ceiling and bulkhead wall has turned out, I'm really liking the sauna look. And now our gray doesn't match exactly right. I don't think, but it's too late. If we want to progress, we can't order a new floor because it would be weeks and we need to progress now. So we're going to keep going with this floor, but I do think once everything is in, you're going to see a lot less of the floor. Half of the floor is already covered by the bed, so you're not going to see that. And then you've got all of the cabinets and the kitchen and the couch. So this floor is actually going to be a really small section of what you can see. So I think once we have that and we have all of our black fixtures and our white couch and everything, it'll look, and also I think our couch cushions are going to be a dark gray. I think it'll all tie it in really nicely. So though it doesn't look exactly what we envisioned right now, I think it will still look really good at the end. Also, as you can see, these bits are the only bits that aren't painted white on both sides. That's because this is the garage area, so we figured we didn't need to paint it. One, because you won't see that part when you're in the van, and also two, because we're gonna have lots of like dirty things and like utilitarian, is that the word? Utilitarian? Like utility type things. Utilities, like stuff. Anyways, we just felt like the paint would get chipped and there was no point in painting like the underneath because it was just gonna be like dirty stuff that goes under here anyways. But everything else, including where the kitchen counter is going to be and where the cabinets are at the top, are painted white, because my friend Jamie, shout out to Jamie, told me that the apartment that she's living in right now doesn't have light colored cabinet interiors, and she says that because there's no lights in there, it makes it really hard to see inside, which I had never even thought of before. So that's why we just opted to paint, as you can see, where all the cabinets are going to go, and at the back as well. We just opted to paint all of that white so that when you open the cabinet, it's white, it's easy, it matches, it's bright, and we'll be able to see better, especially because our lights are actually really good, but you know, we don't have lights in the cabinet, so this should help. So can you walk me through the steps for cutting this guy?
Sharp knife.
And then?
That's all I know.
That's all you know so far?
Take it slow, take it smooth. No mistakes.
He started cutting the carpet. Not the carpet, the floor. So right now he's just cutting it with the knife. We're trying to make it fit around the wheel arch. Neither of us have any idea what we're doing. We've never done this before. So while Shaun continues to cut the floor behind me, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the floor that we got. So we wanted a gray floor. I knew that from the beginning, and at first I was looking at darker colors, and then I saw just this picture, I think it was of a bathroom online, had this really light gray. It was almost like a white. And so we ended up going for that. This one is a little bit darker than that one, but it's still definitely a light gray. I know on the camera it's coming out a little bit more beige. But yeah, it's really nice. All it is, it's a roll, and you roll it out, it's all one piece, and it's vinyl flooring. So the idea is that it kind of looks like laminate, but it's way lighter and way easier for the van. And in theory, easier to install, which it is, but we've just never done it before, so it's taking us a second. The other option that some people with vans do that Shaun did not want to do because the installation process is a bit more complicated is to use planks. They're individual pieces that either clip together or slot in together, kind of like the cladding, I suppose. Okay, so I just checked in our past emails, and this floor we got from Factory Direct Flooring online. It's a UK-based company, and this specific one is 2 meters wide, and it's a vinyl flooring called Storm Gray. So that's this specific one. I love how she sits on the step like a human. It's so funny. Oh, also, look at this. So we didn't know what to do with the wood that was on the sliding door. So we decided the bottom part we painted with chalkboard paint. So we'll be able to leave little messages and draw little pictures on chalkboard. And that's going to be the bottom part of the sliding door. And then the top part of the sliding van, we're going to paint white like the rest, and we're going to use it as a sticker board. So any place that we go or any memory that we have, we can buy a sticker and we'll put it there in the van. So it'll be right there, right above the chalkboard.
It's a bit stressful because if you make a mistake, you can't fix it. But no, it's going well. It stops it making it look like a van and more like a house. So almost done cutting, then time to glue it down.
So minor issue, we have cut out the floor, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but we're about to glue it down, and we're standing, and one of our seams from where our plywood meets is a little bit higher than the other piece of wood right next to it. So when you're standing with the vinyl, you can just feel like a little bit of a dip in the floor. It's really small, it's not major. We were gonna leave it, but we decided, let's not rush it, let's make it perfect. So, if you can see right here, where these two pieces meet, this piece is just a little bit higher than that piece. So Shaun has brought out the giant sander, but we don't want to get sand everywhere. So I also have the vacuum / Hoover, and we are now going to try and sand it down to make it a little bit more even while I catch all of the dust with the vacuum so that it doesn't mess up our beautiful floor. Shaun is marking on our beautiful white wall all of the spots where we have battens underneath. This is because when we get to putting in the framing of the bed, of the kitchen counters, all of that, we need to know where they are because we have to drill into them to secure everything. So that's what Shaun is doing right now, marking the battens that are under the plywood floor. Shaun, what's it time for?
To glue the floor. So we're using spray contact adhesive, mainly because that's going to be easier. I do have, as a backup, some proper floor adhesive that you trowel on, but I'm going to try this, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then obviously we'll peel it up and use the adhesive in the pot in the house. But yeah, we're going to use a few cans of this.
All right, it's time-lapsing this monumentous occasion. Guys, look at that floor. On some account, we are so thrilled because the floor looks pretty good. On another account, we're pretty because the camera stopped filming when we were just starting putting the first side on. So we apologize. It doesn't have the full thing. You saw a little bit, but we did the front and then we did the back. And now Shaun is cutting out the door and it looks pretty great.
Yeah, like we should have put the floor in before we put these bottom bits of white, because that way it would hide the cut on the edge.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm annoyed about. But
Saving grace is you're not going to see that anyway because it's
no,
going to be uncovered.
and I'm going to run sealant around the edges anyway.
Yeah.